Assalamu alaikum class. Hope you all are fine. I'm your instructor Mariam Fassi. Today we have our ninth lecture of semester 6. Our subject title is Operations Management and Supply Chain. We are on the chapter 2, Process Strategy and Analysis. In our previous lecture, we already discussed about what is process and what is strategy. Today we discuss the process strategy decisions in details. We have three major process strategy decisions. Number 1, customer involvement, resource flexibility and capital intensity. First of all, we discuss customer involvement in detail. Customer involvement means customer become the part of the process. Customer involvement have some advantages and disadvantages. Means sometimes customer involvement is good for your organization and sometimes it's not good for your organization. Sometimes customer participate actively in our process and save time and price. More customer involvement means better quality, faster delivery, greater flexibility and even low cost. Customer can face to face with the service providers where they ask questions, make special requests on the spot and provide additional information. Self-service is the choice of many retailers. Sometimes manufacturers of products also prefer customer involvement in assembling and shipping of their products. We use the concept of emerging technologies that allow the companies to engage in an active dialogue with customers and make them partners in creating value and forecast future demand. Customer involvement is not always the good idea for every organization because in some cases giving the customer more active contact in service process will just be making the process less efficient. Managing the time and volume of customer demand becomes more challenging if the customer is physically present and expect prompt delivery. Now we discuss resource flexibility. Flexibility in workforce and in equipment. In workforce, operation managers must decide whether to have a flexible workforce or not. If we select the flexible workforce, then the members of the flexible workforce are capable of doing many tasks either at their own workstations or as they move from one workstation to another. Worker flexibility can be one of the best way to achieve reliable customer service. Flexible workforce requires more training and more education. We have two options of workforce. One is the permanent workforce and second is the temporary workforce. When our process is smooth and steady, we select permanent workforce. When our process is daily, hourly and seasonal basis, we select temporary workforce. Now, flexible equipment. When the volume are low, it means the process designer should select flexible and general purpose equipment. But when the volume is high, then the process designer select special purpose equipment. In this graph, we are showing the relationship between process cost and product volume. Total cost is the sum of variable cost and fixed cost. In this graph, the light blue line shows the process 2 special process equipment and the dark blue line shows the process 1 general purpose equipment. Process 1 is suitable when the volume are low and customization is high. Process 2 is the better choice when volume are high and customization is low. In process 1, fixed cost is low and variable per unit cost is high. And in process 2, variable per unit cost is low. Now we are going to discuss capital intensity. Capital intensity is the mix of equipment and human skills in the process. The greater the relative cost of equipment, the greater is the capital intensity. Nowadays, we are replacing our human resource with machines. Automation. Automation is the system, process, or piece of equipment that is self-acting and self-regulating. Manufacturers use two types of automation. One is fixed automation and the second is flexible automation. Fixed automation is a manufacturing process that produces only one type of a product in a fixed and specific sequence. Flexible automation is a manufacturing process that can be changed easily to handle various types of products. The ability to reprogram machines is useful for both low customization and high customization processes. Industrial robots are used nowadays in our industries, which is the versatile computer controlled machines programmed to perform various tasks. These steel collar workers operate independently of human control. A robot arm has up to 6 standard movements. The robot hands can be changed to perform different tasks such as material handling, assembly, and testing. Let's take an example of flexible automation at R.R. Donnelley. R.R. Donnelley is the largest commercial printer in the United States. Uses a make-to-order strategy. Orders often were as high as 100,000 books. Their press was costly and time-consuming. Flexible automation allowed them to reduce this time to 12 minutes. Current process increased 20% without having to purchase any additional presses. Productivity also increased 20%, and this is only because of the use of flexible automation. Economies of scope. Economies of scope simply means to produce multiple products at cheaper rate. In certain type of manufacturing such as machining and assembly, programmable automation breaks the inverse relationship between resource flexibility and capital intensity. Economy of scope are economies that reflect the ability to produce multiple products more cheaply in combination than separately. With economies of scope, the often conflicting competitive priorities of customization and low price become more compatible. Taking advantage of economies of scope requires that a family of products have enough collective volume to fully utilize equipment. Now we are going to discuss the decisions in service processes. We have two major processes. One is high customer contact process and the second is low customer contact process. In front office, we mostly use high customer contact process. In high customer contact process, more complexity, more divergency, more flexible flows, more customer involvement, more resource flexibility, capital intensity varies with volume. And in low customer contact process, which we are follow in back office, less complexity, less divergency, more line flows, less customer involvement, less resource flexibility, capital intensity varies with volume. Decision for manufacturing process. We have two major process decisions. One is low volume make to order process and the second is high volume make to stock process. Low volume make to order process is mostly used in batch processes. High volume make to stock process is mostly used in continuous process. In low volume make to order process, more complexity, more divergency and more flexible flows, more customer involvement, more resource flexibility and less capital intensity. In high volume make to stock process, less complexity, less divergency, more line flows, less customer involvement, less resource flexibility and more capital intensity.